Welcome back, y'all. So it is Friday evening, 7 o'clock or so. We are going to try and get the engine started. I have two brand new batteries. I have oil for the transmission to put in, and I have some cable wire. I bought 2 gauge of wire, which I don't. It's not big enough for this. To run it, I need like, I don't know, 2/0 cable or something like that. So, something bigger. This 2 gauge wire is not big enough for the application of what we're trying to do here. Anyway, so that wire gauge is not big enough to start this engine. I mean, I think I'm going to be able to get it started, but it's not. That's not what I'm going to install permanently on the truck. We're just going to make some jumpers going to the starter from the batteries that are going to be on the ground because I don't know where I'm going to put them. I was going to go with 12 volt deep cycle batteries, so then that way I can get those plastic cases to put, and I was going to put those behind the seat inside the cab. So they're out of the weather, I can maintain them, they're in the plastic container, it's not going to rust any metal out or anything like that, but I felt like that's not going to be big enough. I was looking online and on some forums and stuff like that, and the guys were saying to use 31 series batteries, 2 of them, so none of my local like my Walmart didn't have them, and neither did my O'Reilly's. So what I went with is, let's see, it's a 29 DC Max EverStart battery. I've got 2 of them. They're 12 volts. The cranking amps are 800. So 800 per battery. I think these are going to be big enough for what I'm going to be using the truck for. Other than that, we got a couple things to do. We got to drain the transmission because it's full of diesel fuel right now. And then we're going to get into, probably while that's draining, we'll start making these jumper cables, figuring out what we need to do. I'm going to crimp them and then solder them. And then what else? We're going to have to prime the fuel system. And I'm going to just check, make sure there's no like oil hoses open or anything like that. That's going to, once we start, it's going to throw oil or anything like that around. I'm going to take that filter off, and I'm going to keep a piece of wood set by just in case. I don't know if the engine will run off or anything like that. I don't want to take a chance. But we'll do that. What else? I think that's about it. So, other than that, we'll get started here. We'll start draining the fuel and put some oil on it, in the transmission. And then we will start making these battery cables. And I just went on YouTube, looked up on how to make your own battery cables. There's hundreds of videos out there on how to do it. We'll see what if the way I do it is going to work or not. Other than that, that's what's happening tonight. Okay. So I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but there was actually some water in that transmission. Man, I thought I drained that. Maybe I didn't drain it. But anyways, I'm not gonna put my oil in that I just bought. What I'm gonna do is pour some more diesel in it. And well, no. First thing I'm gonna do is try and put some air into the top of the shifter housing deal on top. I have some duct tape over it. I'm gonna stick a nozzle down in there, and I'm gonna blow some air into it. Maybe try and push some of that oil and water and nastiness out of the transmission. And then what we'll probably do is refill it with diesel. Man, I wish I had more diesel. I'm gonna have to go run to the store and get some more diesel. But yeah, that wasn't. There was a good half a gallon of water in there. So I'm gonna blow it out, and then I'm going to go and put some more diesel in it and let it sit, I guess, because I'm not gonna put that oil I just bought in there. So let's do it. All right, guys, my compressor filled up. Let's see what it blows out. Okay, guys, so we blew it out. Obviously, you can see it's not pushing it out too much. I stuck my finger in there, and it is oily. It's, milky oil stuck in there. I wonder, I'd almost say put gasoline in it because it's so stuck in there and see if that gasoline will break it up, but I don't know. I don't want to ruin anything. I don't know 100% if I could do that or not. So what I'm going to do is just put diesel in it. Right now I'm just going to let it drip. It's dripping out. We'll just let it get as much as it can out of there. We'll fill it back full of diesel, and I don't know, maybe we might have to run the transmission just for a little bit just to break it up. Maybe I'll pour some oil in it, a little bit of it, and just kind of break it up, warm it up, maybe break all that stuff up, drain it, and then put gear oil in it because it is stuck in there pretty bad. So the next thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna let it drip. We're gonna move on to these cables and get them set up. All right, guys, I'm gonna start cutting up this wire, and then we'll start laying everything out. Show you what we need, what we're gonna be doing, and so forth. Okay, so we got our 2 jumpers, and I'm gonna cut this in half. I don't think I have enough lugs. I don't think I should have bought another one, but I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. Just cut off how much ever you think it'll go in. When you cut it, pull all the loose wires out that you cut with the razor blade. We're pretty good. We didn't cut too many. Next step is going to be flexing it. We'll cut a little more, see how much we need in the first round. That worked pretty well. I'm gonna just go ahead and solder around the edge. So what I'm gonna put on these cables, I just soldered them in the brass. What I'm gonna do next is, I seen this brush on electrical tape. Never heard of it before, but I seen it on Diesel Creek. He's got a pretty good shot. He's got a good channel over there. He shows you a lot of good stuff. But yeah, went and picked me up some stuff, and I kind of like it. I like it more than electrical tape. We'll see. I put it on a couple stuff. I've used it at work now for a little while, and I'm gonna see how it holds up on all the stuff I put it on. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna put on here. The cable's still a little hot. We'll see what this stuff does on there. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed I couldn't find any 2-aught cable around my area at all, which sucks because that's what I wanted to use. So I put the solder, cut a bunch of chunks up, put the solder inside there, and then put flux on the cable end. And I'm going to heat it up until that flux melts inside of it. And then I'll stick this in, let it cool, and then you should be good. So this stuff seems to be working, and this is just what I bought at Home Depot. Okay, for the flux, and then this is the solder. If I was you, I would get some smaller diameter if you can. Just bought this stuff at Home Depot, and I wasn't too sure if it was going to work or not, because they said something about, I don't know, I read something, you're supposed to get this certain type of stuff or it won't work. But this is working fine for what we're doing here. So you can get that stuff at Home Depot. The solder is pretty expensive. It's like $25 for this roll, which you know, it's kind of expensive, but for a good battery cable, I don't think you can go wrong with it. You know, you're making them. So, and this stuff, you know, if you only use it for making battery cables, did I just say brake cable a little? I think I did. Anyways, battery cables. If you're just making it for battery cables, I mean, you can do 50 probably battery cables with just this roll, so should be fun. Damn, that sucks. Okay, let's do this next one here. Alright, that is going to be it for the flux tonight. Okay, that did not work out. It worked, but that was hard to do. Alright, so these are the batteries that I picked up. I'm just gonna throw these connectors on here, on the post. All right, guys. So we filled the transmission up full of oil. Diesel. Recovered the top half with duct tape again. This is the stuff we pulled out of it. It's diesel, oil, and water mixed together. So is what it is. We poured probably another 2 gallons inside of it. I gotta get some more diesel, but filled it back up. Hopefully it'll dissolve that stuff inside there. And then also the batteries are good. We got to get some more lugs, which I'm going to do tomorrow. Well, I'm not going to probably get to the truck tomorrow. We're really busy. Sunday, I may be able to get it started and running and show you guys that. What else? Oh, man. The battery cables, they worked out pretty good. I'm going to have to upgrade those to bigger cables, though. I know that. I think just by cranking, those cables are just going to get way too hot. Second, I kind of looked at the engine briefly. I think we're all capped off on everything. We should be good to go. Other than that, I mean, it just, hooking everything up. I do have a spare starter right there, which I'm going to probably hook up first. Just kind of knock it over, test it, make sure I'm hitting the right deals on the starter, and I'm not going to fry the one that's on there, because that's the last thing I want to do is pull that starter off on the engine, because that sucker's heavy and I just don't want to do that. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I'll catch you guys up on the next clip. Hopefully we can get this thing started and running. I'm excited. I'm ready for this thing to hear what it sounds like, especially with that exhaust in there. I just can't wait to hear what it sounds like. So I've been looking up YouTube videos on how these engines sound for the last couple months. So hopefully we can get this one running and I don't have to do that anymore. But other than that, I think it's just going to be a big booster, to even get us, closer to the finish line, start working on this thing even more. But yeah, that's that, guys. Thanks for watching tonight. I'll catch you guys up on the next clip, and we'll try and get this thing started.